Shalom. First and foremost, like to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors the elders and apostles, the great millstone, who are teaching this truth and sincerity. And a shout out to Yakim that's out there in the four quarters of the earth proclaiming this truth. Braka the Yahweh, Braka the Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, Brakatan. So, out here another week prophesying the downfall of Babylon the Great, America in the scriptures, and lots of other names. Basra, the high place of Rome, that is the second beast that be before us, who exercises all the power of the first beast, and is pretty much the mouth of the dragon, which is now causing the whole world to get injected, before they can re-enter society. They're the ones that have put up the draconian laws, and, you've noticed, though, that these leaders, man, they can put up the draconian laws, but it don't apply to them. They could eat at the fanciest places, not wear a mask or anything. But you have to wear the mask because you're their slave. But the only time you see them wearing a mask is when they're on public camera. But in their offshoot parties, man, they're not wearing a mask. No, man, because that mask is for you. How often has Donald Trump wore a mask, for that matter? You see, he is enrolling the military. And so the doses are out there, man. People are getting it, what they call essential workers, But, if you've been shut down and all that, you're finding out that, why should they be the essential workers, All work is essential, because that's what keeps the economy going. But all these mom and pop shops and, family-owned businesses, well, they're the ones that have been shuttered. Well, the bigger corporations such as Walmart or Target, all them stay open, but you have to close down, And the big one now is that they are shutting down outdoor dining in many other counties. And, the people spend quite a lot of money for the heating equipment and the lights and all that, and just to get shut down again. Because, of course, man, this devil is coming down having great wrath. You see, that's just it. The merchants will weep when nobody's there to buy the goods. Well, if you're shut down, man, nobody's going to be buying the goods anymore. And that's what's happened, though. And now, man, these places ain't making the turnovers like they wanted. No money, man. There's no mirth in this place, So now, not like they used to, when people be shopping. How many wreaths do you see around here? How many lights do you see decked out? No, you only see that in certain parts of downtown, People, man, they ain't having a holly jolly Christmas. You see, all this has been fouled. The Most High is taking that away, And what's next? Well, it starts with the injections, and eventually it leads to the tracking chip to make sure that everybody's had it, because, lots of people are going to be able to get that card, and have it filled out and all that, just so they won't have to take it. So they're going to have to find another way to do it digitally. And that's what this digital certification is, the RFID, mark of the beast, to make sure that everybody's had the injection, You won't even be able to get in because pretty much everything you do is going to be on that chip. That's what they want. And that temptation is right around the corner. You see, right now, pretty much just to return to society, there are those that don't have that much faith to build on that are already going to be, tempted to actually get the injection. That's what's coming around the corner. As you can see, though, that it's been rolled out. There's lots of people. There's, Eve, she took it. She was one of the first to take it over here. So it's happening, though. And we're not going to be able to warn about that much longer, You see, the song of the 144,000 is already played, man. We're at the finale of the song, man. Kind of like the 1812 overture where the cannons happen and the battle actually happens. Everything else was an overture until that final part. Well, now the battle is beginning, though. With the Most High, well, now he's just going to pour out his judgments. The grievous swords are going to fall upon those that take the mark. All leading up to the nuclear destruction that will happen in 1 hour. As you can see, all these other nations now, well, they're making back deals with Russia. Eurasia, they are making deals with Russia to run the pipeline through Iran because, you see, it was the United States that pulled out of the P5+1. And Persia says that it doesn't matter whether Biden becomes president or not. That's not going to make relations any better. In fact, You know, they're talking about a surprise attack against Iran, which is why, you know, you're starting to see a lot more military movement in Iraq and Syria, you know, and you're starting to see these chemical weapons that they accuse Saddam of having, but it's the United States that have these depleted uranium weapons, that it is the United States itself that brought the chemical weapons over there, and then accused Bashar al-Assad of having it, accused Saddam Hussein of having it, destroyed these places. But yet it was the United States itself that brought these terror weapons and gave them to ISIS to use, pretty much. You know, so they just, and people see it for what it is, you know. And this whole idea that America is the greatest place on earth to live, when you can't even get so-called health care, but they all of a sudden care that they want to give you the free injection, well, that's because they want to destroy you, you know. And there's been a lot of dreams and visions of the reaction to those things. People are having them right and left. Dreams of the mark of the beast and dreams of reactions to the injections, you know. I can't go into detail about those, but it does back up the scriptures, though, of what will happen, you know. Because, again, you know, they're making it, you know, so hard to actually put these videos up. And the backup, like Daily Motion, man, well, that's gone. So, you know, BitChute's the only other one there. And eventually they'll take that down because, hey, Google YouTube was down about half a day yesterday, you know. So a lot of people weren't even able to get on it. Joel chapter 2, verse 28, and it reads, it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and daughters shall prophesy. Your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see visions. And that's what's happening, man. They're having visions of the reaction to the injection, and they're having reactions, you know, to FEMA, the martial law troop coming in, you know, and enforcing people. They're actually doing door-to-door testing in Santa Clara County, you know, so coming in with everything. And also upon the servants and upon the handmaids, in those days will I pour out my spirit. So you see, it's happening. People are actually seeing visions, and it's not too far from now that they'll come to pass. And I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. That's by way of them ICBMs when they start hitting this place and destroying it in that hour. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and the terrible day of the Lord come. So this great and terrible day of the Lord is not something to, you know, if you're not right, man, it's time to get right. Because once it comes, it's already too late. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord. Well, what is the name of the Lord? Well, that's very important. And here at Great Millstone, we have the real names. Unlike Nate and others that say that we don't know what the name is, we know what his name is. Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai shall be delivered, for in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as the Lord Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai hath said, and in the remnant whom the Lord shall call. You know? So a great calling is happening. That's why we've come out here on the streets to teach. And the day's going to be coming eventually that we won't be able to do this, but we're going to come out here diligently until then. So again, if you're in the area or you want to know the nearest area to a camp, to get to a camp, put the information down below, you know, because it may be your last time to be able to get this information, you know. We're going to do our best to get this out here. That's why we do this diligently. You know, this is meant for the elect. Those that will actually hear the song and actually move with fear. You see, once I heard this song, I knew I was compelled, you know, by it. And eventually I did get my way down there, but in the meantime, I kept getting filled up on these tapes, aka YouTube. But you see, YouTube has gone out, you know. Now, pretty much the things that you were once allowed to talk about, well, those videos are getting pulled down, you know. Camp videos are being taken down right and left. Channels are being removed right and left. And less and less alternatives. So it's either do as Google says or else your video will be removed for medical misinformation or whatever else. You know, hate speech, you know, that was the one before, right? Hate speech. To hate something is to not like it, to speak against. Well, there's a lot of hate speech going on. Just the other day at Costco, man, somebody got up on a loud mic and spoke against fuck Newsom, you know, because of fuck Newsom's laws. And he said, look, man, they can't make you wear a mask. You know, they can't do this to you. Kind of like Richie from Boston, who is not on Google YouTube anymore. But he has been on BitChute and other forums. Eventually those forums won't be there unless you're paying for it. You know, like Livestream or Ustream or some of them places, you know. Pretty much though, you know, like Dabu7 has DLive, man. These alternatives eventually ain't going to be there either. But for right now, you know, this is the best that we could do. So, you know, we got to be careful how we word things, you know, and what we title our videos. Because this word, you know, it is the net and it goes out. You know, that's how we're on the four quarters of the earth, you know. And we have camps everywhere, you know. So, you know, the idea of getting to the nearest camp, well, eventually, you know, they're going to make it to where eventually an officer's going to tell you, well, you can't teach here anymore. You know, that already happened in Italy, you know. Hasn't happened here yet, but, you know, just look at what the pandemic did, though. You know, it caused us to where we weren't on the streets, you know. We had to find other places. A lot of us taught out of our house, you know. I taught a lot of videos out of the house and just kind of taught over there by Turtle Bay on the walk trail while I could, you know, but, you know, and now's the time because we're at the, if you will, the 7th inning stretch, right? You know, because we're already seeing that pretty much what they're saying is that, okay, well, it's not enforced, but you won't be able to go to all these places, you know? That's what Canada says, and you know that it's going to be so here. Fuck, Cuomo's already made it mandatory in New York that you have to have the injection in order to get back into his totalitarian society. But why would you want that, you know? But see, people want things to go back to normal. Even though you find out how these other places have lived and all that, that America is the worst one to live in. Yeah, it's nothing but a prison. This is that place, you know, that would not open up its door to its prisoners. You know, that pretty much, you know, has been nothing but a huge lockdown facility all along. But they're just finding out the hard way, you know. Pretty much. You know, but it's been that way all along. It's just that now it's starting to become more clear. You know, that all these other places, you know, well, they don't have to deal with that. They don't even have to pay for health care in most other places. But that's not the case over here, man. You got to pay for that. And if you don't have insurance, well, shit. You know, you're screwed, you know. Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 11, it reads, "And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages," talking about America. "I will go to them that are at rest and dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls, having neither bars nor gates." You know, again, man, the time for this place to be destroyed is now. To take a spoil and to take a prey, and to turn thy hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations which have gotten cattle and goods that dwell in the midst of the land. You know? So again, man, the Most High is spoiling this place, tearing it down. "Sheba and Dedan and the merchants of Tarshish with all the young lions thereof, art thou say unto thee, art thou come to take a spoil? Hast thou gathered thy company to take a prey, to take away silver and gold, to take away cattle and goods, to take a great spoil?" Yeah, man. Because this place has done nothing but rob the others, man. It's robbed the whole world, man. So of course they want to get back, you know. And of course, this is talking about when Russia comes here to take everything. "Therefore, son of man, prophesy and say unto Gog, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, in that day shall my people of Yasharallah dwell safely, shall thou not know it?" You know, again, man, that Northern Army is going to be coming to America very shortly there, via the UN. Don't forget, the UN troops, the Army after next, because that's what the Jade Helm practice drills were, you know, where you have militia made up of many foreign nations, because they know that the U.S. soldiers will not fire upon the people, so now they've already got a UN army, which is comprised mostly of the Northern Army, you know, Magog. "And thou shalt come from thy place out of the north parts, thou and many people with thee, all of them riding upon horses, a great company and a mighty army." So again, man, you know, Russia and its allies, you know, they're going to be here very soon, you know. See, that's just it, though. A lot of people dwell carelessly here thinking that, oh no, that'll never happen. We have the greatest military. No, you don't, man. F-16s, man, they just fucking went down to the ground the other day in just a testing run. So no, you don't have the best equipment. And thou shalt come up against my people Yashar'allah as a cloud to cover the land. It shall be in the latter days, I will bring thee against the land, and the heathen may know me when I shall be sanctified in thee, O Gog, before their eyes. That's right, man. You know, Russia and all its allies, you know, which has been a guard unto these places, man. You know, that's who's been a big, huge block. See, if America could get Syria, they would. But you see, Magog has been a big, huge block. So they've just been looting the oil, you know, and take it back and forth between Iraq and Syria under the guise of fighting ISIS, which everybody knows that America supports ISIS, that ISIS is a proxy of the U.S. and Mossad, you know, the Israeli state, you know, and that's all part of the greater Israel project, you know. And Benjamin, not a Jew, has been, you know, using the Golan Heights, that stolen land, to fire upon Syria. You know, you're hearing all the time. Then you got Gomer and all his bands over there, and they've been stealing too. So you see, it'll happen that this place will also be robbed, because they're the ones that have set it all up. And so here it is, though. You're finding this place being robbed. By who? These politicians, right? The CDC, the World Health Organization, have a determination on who gets to run and who gets to stay. You know, so pretty much, man, Redding, over here, man, we've been in the purple tier here since October, since late October. They said that would only be 2 or 3 weeks. Well, fuck. It's already the middle of fucking goddamn December. Ain't nothing changed. You know? No, man. They ain't nutting anybody out. You know, and more things are getting shut down right and left. You know? That's what's happening. And the people are getting fed up. And it's just a matter of time. But you see, over here, man, all they have to do is turn on the tube, and they're just going to hear about more and more numbers. So, you know, they don't want to go out because of coronavirus concerns, even though this shit ain't even real. Oh, and speaking of real shit, in southern UK, now all of a sudden a more deadly blend of coronavirus is there. Yeah, that's the one that we said it. You know, that whistleblowers have said they'll call it COVID-21. You know, a more deadlier blend of coronavirus. Well, that's already starting to come up in southern UK, man. That they're having an even worse outbreak of a more deadlier coronavirus. You know? You say that word, coronavirus, man, a lot of people, man, they're scared to death of the virus, but they're not really scared of these nuclear missiles. You know, these archers that are coming, man, that are going to destroy this place, Babylon, in 1 hour. Now, they're not afraid of that, but that's what's really coming. Man, they'll look at you like you're a lunatic if you talk about nuclear war. But yet, what do you think that they built them for? You know? Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 3. For out of the north parts there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both men and beast. So again, man, as we get closer and closer to the hour, man, a lot of people are going to try to get out of here. The sirens are going to be going. In those days, and in that time, saith the Most High, the children of Yashar'allah shall come. They and the children of Yahweh together. And that's happening. That's what this 12 signs, 12 tribes chart is all about, man. The northern and southern kingdom coming together. The realization that Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the real Israelites. That we're not the dung of the earth that this devil had called us. We're not all those other names, you know. And then you have the Israelite foreigners, those that may not look like, but yet go back to that sign. In those days and that time, saith the Most High, weeping they shall go and seek their Lord, their power. And that's what's happening, man. You know, when I heard this truth, man, you know, I was scared at first, you know, because, you know, I didn't look the part. But then I realized, wait a minute, there's others like me, as I kept on looking, that also are now Israelites and go out there and teach. And so I knew what I had to do. I was compelled to do this. They shall ask the way to Zion with their faces thitherward, saying, come and let us join ourselves to the Most High in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten. You know, once we knew what Yahweh Shai is and the real true word and all that, you know, we wanted that covenant, you know. And we repented of those things. We stopped eating pork. We stopped celebrating Christmas. We stopped celebrating Easter and all these wicked festivities. And we came to the realization of who we were. My people have been laid sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. And there are others that, they might tell you that you're an Israelite, but then they cause you to go astray by telling you that it's okay to take an injection. It's okay if you take the chip. You can always remove it later. They'll tell you shit like that, and that it's not the chip, that it's so-called Christianity. Right. Christianity, you mean if I don't confess that I'm a Christian, I can't buy or sell? That doesn't even make any sense. Many people that do not profess the Christian faith are able to buy and sell, and it's not a mark. I don't see any charagma in their bodies saying that they're a Christian. Not even the fucking cross that a lot of Christians wear. These people go buy and sell all the time. So that's not it. My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. But you see, Nate did know the names Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. We have the videos showing you that he knew those names. But he's now caused them to go astray. IUIC, still calling upon the pagan names, It's a total disrespect to know the names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, and then to say you hate that name. So he hates the name of the Most High. He hates the Son of the Most High by calling them these other names. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountains to hill. They have forgotten their resting place. Again, pretty much though, these other places, they're getting ready to destroy Babylon. I mean, that's the main part of this, but you see, we have to cover that too, because there are many false camps out there. They're just going to tell you that it's going to just be a good old time and then the sirens will happen. No, that's not what's taking place, man. There's going to be a famine. You already seen the famine of the word. In a lot of places there actually is a famine. Lines of cars just to get food from the food banks, and people still having to be turned away because they don't have any more. Remove out of the midst of Babylon, and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans, and be as he goes before the flocks. For lo, I will cause and come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, talking about Magog, Russia, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence shall be taken, their arrows shall be as a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. So once they start firing their missiles upon this place, that's the end of it. But a lot of things are leading up to that, you see. Because America can't stop coveting other lands. Can't stop stealing from other lands, Has still gone into other lands and destroyed it. And they're still, supporting their terrorist groups, their proxies, ISIS, all them, and other terror groups, Boko Haram, stealing from Nigeria and other places, supporting these terror groups, to pretty much make a mandatory injection. They call it COVID pass. You have to prove that you've had the injection. Yeah, it's the U.S., the whore, Babylon the Great, that's done all this, And everybody knows it. And they know that this was a bioweapon that they created as a terror weapon, because who got it first? Their main enemy, because since Trump has been in power since 2016, their main enemy has been China, That's why he always utters the rhetoric, the Chinese virus. But they're finding out it originated elsewhere, that the story of it coming out of a Wuhan lab is a false narrative, that this was already out before. Well, of course, they're always manufacturing bioweapons, and they're using it as a form of terrorism. These people that tell you have to wear a mask are terrorists, man. Hey, that fuckface dickhead asshole fuck Newsom, he doesn't have to wear a mask, but you see, he'll tell you got to wear a mask. And you think that Joe Biden, the child molester, has to wear a mask? No, man, he's laughing at your ass, and he ain't fucking staking up for your rights either, man. He's laughing at your ass. No, I ain't with them civil leaders. Got their vote and everything, man. You thought it was great. Yeah, Trump's out of power. But he wants a microscopic tag to be implanted into everyone, And he's going to make Obamacare, go far up the roof, man. Pretty much, man. Everything. Everything that you own, you don't own it anyways. But the way that this is going, man, the World Economic Reform, you own nothing. You own nothing. They own it all. And you only rent from them. That's what Agenda 2030 is. And hey, like I said, you know, the deadlier blend of coronavirus that's already in the headlines. A deadlier blend of coronavirus in the southern UK. Eventually going to be worldwide. And they're going to really, you know, that's what lockdown 3 is going to be about. But you know, you don't get out of lockdown 2 anyways. Like I said, rating, we've been in fucking purple tier since goddamn October anyways. You know, they say, oh, well, you know, we're trying to stop the spread of the coronavirus. Stop the spread? Fucking ain't nothing stopped, man. It just keeps getting worse and worse. This deal just keeps getting worse and worse. Yeah, because they never plan to let anybody out. They want everyone microchipped, and they want the money on them chips. They're telling you that there's a coin shortage. Well, what the fuck has that got to do with anything, right? That there's a coin shortage because of the pandemic, right? Bullshit. Fucking coins, you know, what they're doing is they're getting rid of the coins, see? They want everything cashless. That's what the World Economic Reform wants. They want everything to be cashless, everything to be digital. So, you know, places where you pay your insurance, oh no, it's got to be digital. The money is dirty. What were they doing in Wuhan, you know, afterward? You know, the IMF told them that, hey, you have to get rid of the cash if you're going to be a part of this world trade system. You see, that's what's been going on, though, is they've been going digital, you know. It's very unpopular to use cash in China. In fact, after they first came out of the first lockdown around March, their hands were being scanned. They already took the injection. And a lot of people also detested that. See, they won't show you the footage of that, but they'll tell you that the whole thing is nothing more than fake, you know? So it's been fake news all along. But man, they've got everybody convinced. They got everybody convinced that you're going to die of AIDS? Yeah, nope. You're going to die of this, that? Nope. Just coronavirus, right? And that all these deaths is because of the coronavirus. When really, truly, though, what's happening, though, is they put them on the ventilators, and the ventilators kill them. And they tell people that they had the coronavirus, even though they didn't have any symptoms of the coronavirus. But you see, $30,000 to say that the person has coronavirus, to cook the numbers, and that's what's been going on all along. So, you know, people are convinced that they've had it, even though they're not dead. You see, people are a sheep, man. They're a bunch of zombies out here. We are living the days of the Walking Dead. And they haven't a fucking clue. Our people don't have a fucking clue what's going on. That is the 2/3 of our people, man. So they think that they got the new man in, Joe Biden. He's already laughing at their ass, right? You know? He ain't even in fucking power yet, and he's already using dictatorial powers, you know? Pretty much, you know? He's going to make it mandated that the whole United States wears a fucking mask. And if they had their way, well, they'd make you wear a mask while you fucking make out, where you just can't fucking breathe at all, you know? You thought it was bad when George Floyd was murdered, and that's another thing, you know, is that they're still killing our people, and you think that Joe Biden's going to make any lick of difference? He ain't going to stop it, man. He ain't going to do anything, because he's one of them. He's a Jesuit. He's a child molester himself. You know, we talked a lot about Donald Trump being a pedophile, but Joe Biden's just as much of a pedophile. They're all pedophiles. That's what this whole Illuminati special club is, man. It's a place of pedophiles. You know, you have to be a pedophile in order to even be considered to be part of the president. You have to do so many child sacrifices and rituals, you know. It just goes beyond wickedness, you know. So that's what they do every winter solstice, you know. That's what's really going on, you know. They do their rituals. So, you know, it ain't going to be too far from now that they're going to be making their attacks against Iran. They've already been killing their scientists. So, you know, you're going to see a lot more skirmishes, but they'll probably just, you know, keep the TV filled with CV, you know, CV coverage and just the miracles of this injection, even though ain't curing nothing because there's a deadlier blend now in the southern UK. Soon to be worldwide, COVID-21, coming in 2021. So, you know, a year ago it was COVID-19, now it's COVID-21, you know. And pretty much the time that we'll be able to come out here and warn of these things, we won't be able to. But you'll know that you heard it first from here, you know, and that Great Millstone has 100% truth. So get this while you still can, you know. Again, you know, this may be our last time. You don't know. You don't know how this thing's turning out, but you know that you're getting near the end when you're seeing channels taken down right and left, and the alternatives are being taken down. And then you're seeing us, you know, pretty much being removed from teaching on the streets because of a curfew, because of new draconian laws, you know, that unless you're an essential worker, you can't come out. That's all happening now. So, hope all this has been edifying like everything else, though. We're going to keep on proclaiming this while we still can. For that, I want to say, Brakat the Yahweh, Brakat the Yahweh Shai, Ba Hashem Kadash, Wa Ba Babal, and Brakatham Jehovah Elect. Shalom.